Hi, Algebra 1. Happy to be back here at school. This is going to be page 119. Let's run through these and see how we do. And it's also 120. All right, the first one. So the first thing, this outside means it's going to open upside down. And then it's going to cross the x-axis at -2 and at +3. It's always opposite. So let's look for the upside down one that crosses at -2 and +3. And that looks like it has to be answer C. Okay, so we've used this one. This one's going to open upward because I don't have a negative out front. It's going to cross at 2 and -3, but it's opening up. So 2, +2, +2 and -3. It looks like this one will be F. So use that one. All right, this one will open up because there's no negative out, and it's going to cross at 3 and -2. So we're looking for 3 and -2, which is this one. So this answer will be D. This one will open up because it's no negative out front. It's going to cross at 4 and -1. So I think we have to find it. 4 and -1. There it is. Letter H. Number 5, it's going to open up because there's not a negative out front. It's going to cross at 1 and -4. So let's see if we can find 1 and -4. Opening up 1 and -4. It looks like E. Number 6 is going to open down because there's the negative out front right here. It's going to cross at 1 and -4 upside down. So 1 and -4. So that's B. This one will open up. This is going to cross at 1 and 4. So we'll open it up 1 and 4. Let's see, did I do +1, +4, opening up? +1, +1, +1. Oh, it's letter A. Because 1 and 4 is where it crosses. This one will open down. It's going to cross at 1 and 4, opening down. So that's 1 and -4. That's not going to work. Might be another one here you can find. Nope, not that one. 1 and 4 opening down. So that's going to be letter I. This is going to open up because there's no negative up front. It's going to cross at 0 and at 4. So crossing at 0 and 4. Oh, it's going to be letter J. This one will open up, and it happens at -2 twice. So that means, so it's opening upward. -2 and -2 happens twice, so it means it's just going to kiss it. So it's got to be this one, letter K. Number 11, this is going to open down. It's going to cross at -3 and -3, so it's going to do the same thing and open down though. It's just going to kiss it once, so it's going to be letter G. And then number 12, this last one, well, it's going to open up. It's going to cross at -4 and at -1. So it's got to be this one, letter I. Or wait, was that -4 and -1? Yep, letter I. Cool, and that's how you do that first part. All right, so let's take a look at a few things. X-intercepts, so 1 and 7. So I'm going to put a dot here at 1, and I'm going to put a dot here at 7. The axis of symmetry is going to be halfway in between those. So I'm going to count in 1, count in 1, count in 1 more, count in 1. Looks like at +4, that's halfway between those 2 points. So the axis of symmetry, label it as x equals 4. Okay, that's a vertical line. So your vertex we know to be at 4 comma some other value. So I'm going to take the 4, I'm going to plug it in for the x's up above. So I'm going to get 4 minus 1 and 4 minus 7, which is 3, and that's negative 3, which is going to give me at negative 9. So 4, negative 9, which is down here, and this should indicate, you know, the direction it's opening. If I want my y-intercept, if I want to get the y-intercept is going to be at 0 comma something, so I'm going to plug 0 in for x up here. So I'm going to get 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 7. So negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7. So 0 comma 7 is up here. And that's what it looks like. There's our parabola. Okay, things that you might want to list though is you might want to go 1 comma 0 and 7 comma 0. It's not wrong if you do it the other way, but it shows that you're dealing with points. Okay, and the reason this one opens up is because there was not a negative sign up front, which takes us to number 12. It's going to open down. It's going to open down because there's a negative sign. So let's keep that in mind. It's going to open down. All right, the x-intercepts, opposite of that, so 2 comma 0, opposite of that, 4 comma 0. So what number is halfway between 2 and 4? Yeah, 3. So I have an axis of symmetry at x equals 3. We have a vertex, which is going to be at 3 comma something. So we're going to take the 3, and we're going to plug it in. We're going to use the entire part of the problem. So negative 2, that's going to be 1, negative 1. Multiply that together, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2, so 3 comma 2. So we have a vertex right here. And when we want to find the y-intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for the x up above. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 4. That's going to give me negative 4, or positive 4, so that's going to give me a negative 16, or excuse me, yeah, negative 16. So that kind of happens way down here. So sometimes the y-intercept is not going to be good to use on our graphs because it comes off quite a bit. All right, number 15. So the x-intercepts, this will open up because there's not a negative sign. When I have an x all by itself, that means it's going to happen at 0, 0 for one of the x-axis crossings. And the other one opposite of the 6 is going to be 6 comma 0. Okay, there's our 2 intercepts. Our axis of symmetry is halfway between them, so it looks like it's going to happen at x equals 3. Our vertex is going to be at the 3, because of the 3 here, and then we'll plug 3 into the original equation. So I get 3 times 3 minus 6, which is 3 times negative 3, which is negative 9. So vertex is 3, negative 9, so it's way down here. And our y-intercept, well, here's the thing. We already know our y-intercept. Isn't this crossing the y-axis as well? So our y-intercept's at 0, 0. So our parabola is going to look something like this. Number 16, there's no negative out front, so it'll open up. Where's the x-intercepts? Set each of these equal to 0, so it's opposite, so I get negative 4 comma 0 and positive 6 comma 0. So negative 4 comma 0 is right there, and 6 comma 0 is right there. The axis of symmetry is halfway in between those, so it looks like it's going to be at 1. So x equals 1, and yes, you do have to put the x equals. And that's what that'll look like. Our vertex is going to be 1 comma. We'll take the 1 and plug it in to the whole equation. So it's going to be half, and that's going to be 5, negative 5. Ooh, this one's a little nasty. So half of negative 25 is negative 12.5. Oops. Okay, well, we can make it work. So 1 comma negative 12.5 is like way down here. If I wanted to find where it's going to cross the y-intercept, I'm going to plug 0 into my entire equation. So I had half, and then 4, and then negative 6. So 4 times negative 6, negative 24. Half of that is negative 12. So it's kind of like right next to it like that. And then you draw your parabola in. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking a look at worksheet number 2. And I think everything here. Well, let's go through problem 1, 2, and 3 together. This is on page 121. So we have this graph that we have -1 here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 3 here. And they want us to give the function. So we have y equals a x minus p x minus q, which looks a little different. But let's take care of this part. So if I have a -1 here, that'll be an x plus 1. If I have a positive 3 here, that'll be an x minus 3. And the a value, let's not worry about right now. This is my equation, just like that. Okay? Technically, the a value is a 1. We will cover that later in later class. And then let's take a look at problem number 2. Problem number 2, we have this upside down parabola. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So an upside down parabola, and that's it. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's at 4, 4. Again, we have this equation that we're going to take a look at. Oops, and x minus q. So the only thing that you need to know about this is that a value is going to be negative. It's opening down. And if that happened at 2 and that happened at 6, I'm going to do opposite values here. So that's going to be x minus 2 and x minus 6. Notice they're opposite. Even though they're positives here, they'll be negatives here. So this is our equation. And then our third equation, and again, that a value in there can change a little bit. We'll see a change a little bit later with this chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all right, so it's going to be positive, so our a value is positive. So just leave that as alone. Opposite of -4 is +4. Opposite of 0 is just 0. So if you left it like that, you're fine. But realize that that's the same thing as saying x. So this equation is actually this. And again, the a value will be changing a little bit, but we're not worried about it. So for the rest of the period, I'm happy to help you. But why don't we do page 121 and 122, and do all the rest. So finish those. Other than that, have a nice day. Nice to be back in school. Bye-bye.